All right, I hope everybody's had a good night. Or a good morning, depending on where you live. All right, we're going to get into the third stream here again. Actually, tried streaming a little bit earlier. Didn't go through for some reason when I checked. So I thought I'd do a quick recap and see how it looks, see how it sounds, check the audio levels. So yeah, we should be about the levels that we need right there for talking. Okay, so let's get into this here. So if you've watched my other videos or seen the other streams, you'll know what this is all about. But I thought I'd like to do a quick little recap with a little bit more professionalism, maybe hopefully the right audio levels, to talk about what I'm really hoping to accomplish with this. I'm sitting down at my son's computer with his mouse, his mic, his webcam, and I'm streaming for sanity, I guess would be a good way to put that. When my son first took his life, a few days after that, maybe a day after that, the next full day, I got a phone call from a friend of ours whose daughter had done the same thing a few years prior. And while we had been good friends before, the connection we had now was something more. I was able to take his advice just a little more seriously than the well-wishings of people who hadn't really been through it. And it helped me immeasurably, being able to have that resource, to have him around to talk me down. Anybody that's been through this knows the first day is a nightmare. The first week is slightly less than a nightmare, but it goes on and on and on. And without somebody to talk to who had been through it, I don't really know who I would be now. Reached out to another friend of mine just about something else and told him what had happened with us, and he shared with me that it had happened to him as well a few years back. And he didn't hesitate to make an appointment with me and sit down with me and talk. We had coffee and we talked, and we both cried just a little bit, and that helped immeasurably. Having another man to sit down, another person, another human being that I could look at, and I saw nothing but compassion in his eyes. He knew the pain I was feeling, and he had felt it and still felt it every day. He said sometimes we cry on our pillows, and that gave me some hope that eventually the knots that my stomach were tied in would morph into something else. And they did eventually, not something better, but something different, something that wasn't quite so crippling. Their advice and that sitting down with them across a table was a wonderful thing. Just talking to my friend on the phone that day was an amazing thing. And without them, I don't know where I'd be right now. So I thought I'd create this Twitch stream with all my son's equipment here and create a platform where people who need to talk about this sort of thing can go and find a survivor. They call us survivors, and it's not a good word, I don't think, but it is what I'm trying to do here, is survive. So other people who don't have that resource, don't have any friends or acquaintances or family members that can truly empathize with the feelings that they're having, can maybe find someone who can. I've got my Discord, I've got my Discord set up for the off chance that we might want to have a conversation off the stream, or one of the mods can have a conversation with somebody off the stream once we have mods. It should be I hope for some sort of a almost repository of information, people that can empathize, people that can sympathize, people that can give advice, people that have been through this and have advice will always be welcome here. Even if you don't like gaming, I could pause the game. We don't have to watch gaming. We can just sit and talk. A few nights a week, though, I'll be gaming and trying to get some content together so I can make some videos on YouTube using the programs that my son has on this computer. I'll have to teach myself how to use them to the level that he was already using them at, but it's worth the time. In my description, I've got several links posted on there. They're not hyperlinks yet. I don't know how to do that, but the information is there for several categories of help that can be found for various things. Anybody has a suggestion or a resource that they'd like to point out that I could potentially put in there, that would be a good thing. You can leave it in the comments of the YouTube video that I'll probably make out of this. You can send it to me on Twitch, and that'd be much appreciated. I hope to develop this into a real thing that people can find, people can find help, support, resources. When I first went through this and I started looking around, I found several things, but none of them, well, I won't say none of them, but most of them didn't really specifically apply to me. So maybe one day we'll try and get some sort of a program where you can type in where you're from and which part of the world you're in even, and it'll start spitting out answers for you. Until then, I'll do the best I can trying to get a comprehensive list of things out there. And again, anybody that has any other resources for me to look at, please don't hesitate to share them. Till then, I'll be back on Wednesday, and I'll probably start out with something on Wednesday that doesn't require internet speed to be crazy high. And I'll check the video on this recording and make sure that it looks good. If it's ready, then I'll open the doors and I'll sit here for, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours and we can chat if you need to chat. If you just want to lurk and check it out, that's fine too. Anyway, I hope that all of you have at least taken a half a minute or a minute to calm down today. Meditating or just being still, peaceful, and breathing slowly can help you take away that stress and loosen up the stomach and the knots in your chest and get back down to the center of yourself where it's a beautiful place, each of us. Finding that place and getting to it each day, I think, is key for all of us to work on daily. It's not easy, but the few times that it's happened to me, it's changed my life. I can breathe, I can stand up, I started thinking again, and I decided to get into this, and it's an improvement. So take 30 seconds, take a minute, just breathe, listen to the music for a minute before you get up, and have a good day or a good night, and I'll see you next week.